energy price hikes, the corporate
Oh, right,
extortion.
okay.
That's what this rally's about, raising awareness. That's how are we going to pay it? 54%.
Oh, no, how can we pay this? True, man.
54%. So we have to stand up and take direct action.
Right.
Don't pay the energy price hikes. Write to the directors of the company and inform them you're only prepared to pay the 2019 tariff before the lockdowns because we used more energy in the lockdown, and tell them we're not paying.
Thank you. Freedom is found in Christ alone. You know about that? There's quite a few people, man. Yeah. How are you?
I am very well, mate.
Good, thank you. Yeah. We got there.
BBC. For the BBC, we tend to sing this. You're traitors, you're traitors, you are. You're traitors, 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 you are. You're traitors, you're traitors, you're traitors, you are. You're traitors, you're traitors, you're traitors, you are. And you're liars, you're liars, you're liars, you are. 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 You're liars, you're liars, you're liars, you are.
So my name's Debbie Hicks. I'm an activist. I've been an activist for a long time actually. But for the last 2 years I've been an activist that's focusing on what we can do as people to try and stop this digital economy, digital currency that they're planning in the UK. Because for myself and lots of people, we feel it will be very tyrannical and very controlling in terms of taking control of people and their money. So today, this is what I've been talking about. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm going around towns and cities in the UK, and I'm doing, which is what I'm trying to do today. We've turned into a kind of a speech thing at the moment, but having a street stall with leaflets and information about the dangers of losing cash in the UK.
When is it going to come in?
When is it going to come in? They haven't given, there's no date. They're trialling it at the moment. The Bank of England are trialling.
Yeah, it started with the Bank of England, didn't it?
Yeah. So they're trialling it, and what I've discovered recently, which is very interesting, this is the first time they've trialled it. They tried it before, about 10 years ago, and it didn't work. They had like a control group, non-control group, groups of people that were going to go out and try and live without cash. And what was interesting was that the people that agreed to do it actually really struggled and pulled out. They found it a lot harder than they thought they were going to, just having to use their debit card and their phone technology. So this is what they're doing again, they're trialling it again. I think they're more hopeful now that it might work because more people are using
their
cards, using their phones. But as I said in my speech here today, when you start looking into it, there's still a lot of people that use cash. Cash is on the uptake. More people are using cash. That bar chart I showed you shows that every decade it's been going up in the UK.
Everybody needs cash.
Absolutely, yeah.
If they decide to cut off your card or your account or whatever, what are you going to live on?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the control they
it's
want.
freedom, isn't it? When you've got cash in your pocket, it's freedom. You're not being tracked with what you spend and how you spend your money. There's going to be no punishments, and that's the problem. Is you see they're talking about linking a digital currency to what they call a social credit system, which is where your movements, what you do, your habits will be linked to how much money you can have and your access to money. And if you're doing things the government don't like, they don't want you to do, they can cut your money, they can limit it, or they can even cut your bank account altogether.
Of course they will, yeah, of
And
course.
that's the danger, isn't it? Is that if you've got just a card and your phone and it's all digital, you're going to be cut off if you do something that they don't like.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for instance, as I said today, I'd be one of the first people that they would do it to, as I'm an activist.
Of course, yes, they start
So-
there, of course. Anybody that's like anti-establishment in any way, like,
Yeah.
are going to be hit first. They'll
Exactly.
try it out with them first, yeah.
But that's not just going to be me, as I keep trying to say. It's going to be everyday people eventually.
yes, of
You know,
course.
as I said, you've used too much diesel in your car or petrol this week. No, you're going to lose some money. You've been eating meat. You've been drinking alcohol. You've been smoking. You're going to. It's going to be everybody. It's going to be the whole country. The whole. They want it to be the whole world. And the problem with that is it's. You're never going to be able to conform to that system, no matter how puritanical you might think you are. There's no way you can conform to that system.
No, because they'll keep pushing it all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely will.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's so to me, this issue of keeping cash is so important, because as I said today, cryptocurrencies, a lot of people jumping onto the crypto thing and they're going, oh, this is the way we do it. We have our own crypto, I don't know, they call them blockchains, don't they? Blockchains,
yeah.
and we get away from it. And when I say to them, hold on a minute though, what if they try and shut that down? Oh, they can't shut us down. I said, well, they can shut things that are digital down. They can shut your internet down. And they look at me and they've got no answer. And
I
it's
know.
like, why do you think they're going to leave you alone? They're not going to leave
Exactly,
you
they
alone.
can, anything they want to, they can close it down in a certain amount of time. No matter how
Exactly.
long it takes, they will do it.
Yeah.
Because they
So-
got the power.
So that's my
That's the
position. Is
scary
cryptocurrency is not the way that we stop it. If people, I don't have anything against it. I just think it's not going to stop this digital world. It has to be cash. It's still part of their system. I'm not saying we're getting away from it completely, but we have some autonomy and we have some power as individuals. And I'm really enthused to see so many people using cash.
Yeah.
So many people have come up to me in the communities and said, no, I'm using cash a lot more. And the research at the moment is showing us that when you get an economic crisis, which is what we're in really,
Oh, definitely.
people use cash.
Yeah.
So this is our moment, isn't it? If people are using it more, to say
This
to
is the
people,
time.
you've got to do
Yeah.
it. You've
So
got
what
to
do you
do it more.
suggest, people that hopefully will see this, what would you suggest to them now? I mean,
Yeah.
what's the way forward? How are we going to, should we ignore big stores and places like that
Yeah.
that won't accept it?
No, I think so. I think we have to. Boycott campaigns can be very effective.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to the 1980s, the boycott of South Africa under apartheid was
Yeah.
really effective eventually. It took time. And I think it might take us time, but we need to start boycotting all the businesses. And I'm sorry, even the little guys that are doing, because there are lots of little businesses that are doing it, which I'm shocked by, that
know.
are refusing cash. People need to boycott them. And all it would take, as I said to someone today, imagine if it was just 10 people a day that went into a shop and said, sorry, I'm not coming in here again, you're not taking cash. They'd be like, oh. I think we can be really powerful if we start doing it. Handing out leaflets outside those shops. We could even get out like we're doing here with PA systems outside these. I think
Exactly.
we just need to have an effort. As I said to people today, because I can't do it, or I'm just trying to get people to think about doing it. If they can go into their communities and do it, I think that's what we need to do everywhere. Like what we've been doing the last 2 years with lockdowns,
Exactly.
the jibs, all of that. Getting out into the community and talking to people, that's what we need to do. But it's at the moment what I'm trying to convince people of is that this is the way to do it, and it's not cryptocurrency.
Exactly.
Because the block I'm coming up with is there's a lot of people in the Freedon movement that like cryptocurrency. And we need to have a conversation about that in terms of what the dangers are with the cryptocurrency as well. So.
Of course there is, yes. Is there anywhere they can get in touch with you?
Yeah, we've got a Telegram group called Keep It Cash. If you type that into Telegram, it's a public channel, which I've only just started, but I'm putting things out on there. We've got the templates for the leaflets, information on there. So yeah, if you can follow that, we're gonna do an update on Gareth Ike's show in a couple of weeks.
Oh, right, okay.
In terms of how it's going. But so far it's been really positive. And as I said earlier, the beauty of talking about this topic with the public is it's not so confrontational. You know, it's the kind of topic a lot of people can come and talk to you about
Yeah.
without that confrontation we were getting last year about wearing face coverings, having
Oh yeah.
jibs, which it sort of turns into a war with people. And once people are in that war mode, which I thought I was going to talk about today with a workshop, once people are in that fighting mode and it's you and us, that's it. You've lost the debate, haven't you? You're not going to get anywhere. It's about trying to keep it calm so that you can then talk to them about, well, hold on a minute, why do they want to get rid of cash? You know, and then getting them to sort of go onto other topics.
Yeah, I've been on a couple of those marches that were quite interesting.
yeah. So no, it's a positive thing to do. I think campaigning on this issue, and I encourage you to go out and do it. Please do. And the one thing you can do actually, even if you can't go out and leaflet or campaign, is just do it yourself. The most simplest thing you can do is just get cash out as much as possible. Stop using your card.
Exactly.
I know sometimes it's impossible. There's situations where you have to, but most of the time you can find a cash point and you can get the money out. So.
Okay then. Anything else to add? Before?
No. The other thing, I mean, obviously we've had this march recently, which is still a good number, but considerably lower than the ones we had last year. And what I say to people is, if you were on those marches last year but you're not here today, what do you think has changed in a year? Do you think it's got better? Do you think it's gone back to normal?
Hell, it hasn't.
Or are we even close to that digital world I'm talking about? And if you reach that conclusion, you've got to be out here with us, because when we do this, I know people are cynical of marches, we send a message to the establishment. Even if they don't put it in the front of their newspapers, they are aware of how many people come out. And when we've got a big crowd, they get scared.
But look at the amount of policemen.
Yeah.
You don't ever see them around here unless somebody gets stabbed or something.
Exactly.
And that's it. And then
and even though this is fantastic, there's people here. There's been 5,000, 6,000 people. Maybe, we need you all to come back out again, because it hasn't gone anywhere. This agenda hasn't gone anywhere, and the whole vax passport thing hasn't gone anywhere either. They want to still bring that in.
Of course they do, yeah. That is scary, man.
That's all that's it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, all right,
Much
thank you.
appreciated.
Okay.
Passer on the tent. Who the Lord make no sense. They mesmerizing all the nation. They 1, 2, 3, 4.
Using your cards, and I was one of those people, and using your phones. You've got to change your habits. It's quite easy. It doesn't take much more of your time to go to the cash point before you go shopping or to the pub or to the cafe and get some cash out. And you know what, guys? It's so empowering having that cash in your pocket because you know what you're doing with your money. When you're using your phone and your card all the time, you're not aware of what you're spending. And before you know it, and I guess that's going to be a lot of us as well, you're in debt, which is what I think a lot of the younger generation that are using their phones are finding. You're spending and you're not managing your money. So not only is using cash about managing your money, it's also about helping stop the digital tyranny that they're planning. But also, the elderly population overwhelmingly use cash in this country. The poor use cash, poor communities. The disabled use cash. All those communities, if we stop cash, they are going to be completely cut off from society. So not only is this about fighting tyranny, it's about empowering impoverished communities in this country that these bastardised governments don't give a shit about. So you're doing lots of things. Another thing you're doing, when you're using cash and you go into a shop, you are saving jobs. There are so many people in this country whose jobs are tied up with using cash. Cashiers, the administration of cash, the banks that are all closing down, as someone's just said to me, that are dealing with cash. When you do that, you're keeping their jobs, so you're doing something for the economy. Another thing, and I know loads of people come up and say, oh no, Debbie, cryptocurrency, you've got to do the cryptocurrency. I'm sorry guys, it's digital and they can switch it off. And they will. They might not be onto it yet, but if more and more of you start getting into crypto, they will shut it down. Of course they will. Let's not be naive about how powerful these people are and that they control the digital world. So cash is the lesser of the evils and how we take back power.
Okay, so man-made climate change does not exist. And here we have a pamphlet which explains that. That's it, perfect. Man-made climate change does not exist. And how do we know it doesn't exist? Because scientists have observed that carbon dioxide levels over the last 400,000 years follow temperatures, not the other way around. CO2 levels are controlled by world temperatures, especially the sea temperatures. That is a scientific fact, and everything else they tell you is bollocks on the matter. Utter bollocks. And it's not difficult to understand why this happens, because when the sea warms up, it will emit carbon dioxide. And there's 50 times more carbon dioxide dissolved in the sea than there is in the air. So it warms up a bit, and the CO2 comes out. But there's a delay process because of the circulation patterns of the ocean, which happen to have opened on this page, on this exciting pamphlet that you can get off the table there. And I'll show it to this lady. But without going into the details, there's like some hundreds of years of delay. So the reason for extra CO2 now is the medieval warm period. It's the after effects of the medieval warm period. And if you want to know too, that what the BBC tell you about the reasons for man-made climate change, the mechanism, is also anti-scientific, and they know it. You see, they say extra CO2 up there will give more dark black body radiation to the ground. Okay, but that requires heat to flow from a cold area to a warm area. Now that is nonsense. It's like turning on the kettle or putting the kettle on and just hoping it's going to warm up by itself. It's nonsense. It doesn't happen. Well, you might open the fridge door to let radiation come out from the cold fridge into the room. The room doesn't get warm. It's nonsense. It is complete nonsense. There is a more subtle theory of what they say, but that doesn't work either. And that is listed in this book, where what they say is that because the level at which radiation will escape into space goes up when there's more CO2 or water vapour around, that it will cause a hotspot to appear in the upper atmosphere after 20 years of extra CO2. I said, no, that won't work, because the extra CO2 will cause more radiation into space, and there'll be a cold spot. There was a cold spot when they looked, so their second theory failed. So there's no basis whatsoever for the man-made climate change theory. So we say, we demand the BBC debate climate change.